Hi gorgeous! In today's video I'm going to be showing you a 90s supermodel makeup tutorial. This has got to be one of my most favorite kind of looks ever, because when I was growing up in the 90s, looking through magazines, you always saw their gorgeous faces, very dramatic makeup, and I will tell you right now, this look uses a lot of makeup and I love it. The makeup of the supermodels, like I said, was very dramatic, uber glamorous. We're talking a big cat eye, smoky eyes, nude lips. It's where I get a lot of my inspiration from my everyday makeup looks to this day, and I am not ashamed of that one bit. But some of the top supermodels at this time included names like Cindy Crawford, Helena Christensen, Claudia Schiffer, Naomi Campbell, Tyra Banks, Karen Mulder, Christy Turlington, Linda Evangelista, how could we ever forget to mention her? And odds were, if you were growing up in the 90s, you were watching MTV a lot. And George Michael came out with his Freedom music video, which featured a lot of these supermodels. And it was one of those music videos I actually recorded on a VCR and set it up so I could rewind it and watch it over and over again, because I just loved staring at these gorgeous women. And I would have died to have had my makeup look like theirs. But we didn't have YouTube back then, and we had to rely on things like magazines and makeup books from people like Kevin Aucoin, who was really big in the 90s. God bless him. May he rest in peace. So I'm going to show you today, start to finish, a 90s supermodel makeup tutorial, and I've also sprinkled in some fun facts about these 90s supermodels throughout the video. I already have my moisturizers and primers applied. I'll have those listed below for you if you're interested, beginning with the Viseart Neutral Matte Eyeshadow Palette, which is perfect for a 90s look because matte warm browns were the epitome of 90s makeup. I'm taking the two lightest shades from this palette and lightly buffing them on the inner half of the lid with a big fluffy brush from Sedona Lace. Then I went in with this shade from the palette and with a small shader brush applied it along the lash line. With a soft dome brush, this is from Makeup Geek, I'm taking a little bit more of that color and starting to blend it into the crease. I also took some of that eyeshadow and blended it out to the outer corners of the eyes so it created a winged shape, and did a lot of blending here. After I applied it, I also went back and blended the edges. Taking the darkest brown from this palette, I deepened the outer V even more and added to that cat eye winged shape. Next, I'm using a black eyeliner from Rimmel that needs to be sharpened. I highly recommend having a really sharp black eyeliner for this next step. I used the pencil to draw a thin line on the upper lash line. I also used this black eyeliner on the lower waterline and the upper waterline, even though I didn't show it as part of this tutorial. Taking the black eyeshadow from the palette and the MAC 263 brush, I applied this over the top of the black eyeliner on the upper lash line. Then I went in with the Sigma E30 pencil brush and really smudged the lines there because their eyes were so smoky and sultry with black eyeliner, but it was a slept-in look. It wasn't a defined line. Okay, never mind. I did show putting black eyeliner on the upper lash line. You want to add it all around the eye. I also took a little bit of creative liberty here to add to that cat eye shape and put a little tiny flick of black eyeshadow on the outer corner of the eye. You also want to make sure that you're emphasizing the inner corners of the eyes with black eyeliner. We all know that the 90s had very thin, over-plucked eyebrows, but I didn't notice that with supermodels. Their brows actually looked normal. The only difference is they didn't do the gradient fade on the inner part of the brow like we do today. It was more circular and rounded. Then I curled the lashes and added a waterproof mascara from Bebe and also a pair of false eyelashes. And these are a synthetic pair from inkyminkylashes.com called I Do. They're one of our best-selling styles, and you can see why. Very beautiful with this look. For the face, I'm using a matte foundation from Chanel. Can't pronounce this one for the life of me, but if you're interested in which one it is, I'll have it listed for you below. The skin was very matte in the 90s, as was very popular with the trends of this time. And the concealer I'm using for this look is from Tarte's line. It's their Shape Tape, and I think I'm in the shade Fair Light Neutral. And to set everything, I'm using the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Powder Foundation. I had to use a Kevyn Aucoin product. For a 90s tutorial, it is a must. Then I went back with this shade from the palette and applied it on the lower lash line to further smoke out the eyes. You want them to be very sultry, smoky, glam, sexy. Heavy amounts of contour were applied on the cheeks of supermodels. So I'm using this bronzer from Bare Minerals called Skinny Dip. No longer available. It is matte in finish, and I'm applying it on the sides where you would normally apply contour, but I'm applying it very heavily and in a larger pattern than you would normally, because if you really study their faces, they had a lot applied on the sides of the face. Adding in a lip liner, this is MAC's Whirl. Lip liner was huge in the 90s. No lip was left unlined. And then I filled it in with MAC's Honey Love lipstick. Any nude lipstick will do, but if you have a brown toned one, perfect for a 90s supermodel look. And that's the finished look. Let me know what your favorite 90s supermodel makeup feature is. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.